Financial Modeling, Topic 9, Section 6. We're going to use Excel's built-in bond functions. Now, Excel's built-in bond functions have a number of inputs or parameters. They need a settlement date. You can think of that as the actual purchase date of the bond when you take possession. The maturity date, that's the final maturity of the bond, and these are going to be end dates. You have the rate, and in this case, this is not the R that we've been using. This is actually the security's annual coupon rate. It is just called rate using Excel's bond functions. You have the yield, that would be the yield to maturity that some of these functions use. You have the redemption value. Now the redemption value says is at par, what percentage of the par or redemption value do you receive? In all situations for this course, we're going to put in 100 and make sure you put in 100 every single time. Frequency is the number of payments per year. Now basis, we're going to omit that for now and talk about that at a later topic in bonds. So we're just going to skip that one. It's an optional, and it talks about specifically about the ways of dealing with calendars. So we'll just skip that for now. So let's go to the spreadsheet and let's calculate the bond's price or valuation, modified duration, and yield, the YTM, using Excel's functions. So I'm going to go to the spreadsheet and I'm going to type in my price function equals price. I'm going to click on the price there. And it looks like it wants my settlement date. Notice I've set up a 30-year bond, 2 payments per year, as a price of 1103.19. I'm going to value this bond using Excel's valuation function. I'm going to put in the settlement date. Let's just pretend you bought this January 1st, 2013, and it matures in 2043. I can make this a little bit bigger. The rate, notice it says, is the security's annual coupon rate. I'll put in the coupon rate. The yield to maturity, the yield is this yield to maturity right here, which is assume that the bond is selling at par. So I'm going to make R and the discount rate and the yield to maturity all the same number. The discount rate and the yield to maturity the same number. And redemption, I'm going to put in 100. And I'm going to frequency, I'm going to put in 2. And I get this price here, 110.31. Now this is the price we got using my bond val function. This is Excel's price using the price function. And the way the Excel's function works and tells you right here in the function description, it returns the price per $100 face value of a security that pays periodic interest. So what that means, if this bond is selling for 110.319% of par, if I took that, divided by 100 to turn it into a percent, times the par, that's 1103.19. That's the actual value of the bond. However, in the bond world, we quote bonds not in prices that include their par. We just say that bonds are selling at what percentage of par. So in this case, we'd say this bond is selling at 110.319, even though with a par of 1,000, it's actually selling for $1,100. Modified duration, I'm going to do the mod duration function. I can then click on this up here. Again, put in settlement date, maturity date, annual coupon rate, the yield to maturity. In this case, this bond is selling at par, or is the YTM of the bond is the discount rate, so we're going to say that's the same thing. And we're going to have frequency of 2. And we have a modified duration of 10.187 years. And then the last thing is we can calculate the yield to maturity of the bond. Let's say equals yield. I'll put in the settlement the maturity, the annual coupon rate, the price of the bond. Now the price, let's assume this bond is selling for 110.319. Notice where it says price, pre-R is the security's price. So actually I'm going to put in that price right there, 110.319. I will get the wrong answer if I try to put in this price here of 1103. Redemption of 100, frequency of 2, and you can see that the YTM of this bond, if it's actually selling for 110.319, is 9%. Now, for this course, if you're ever given dates, let's go ahead and use Excel's price, modified duration, and yield programs. In other words, don't make up T to then use bond val, mod dur, and convexity functions. If you're given dates, use Excel's functions. If you're not given dates, don't make up dates. Go ahead and use bond val and my functions that we've developed in VBA for duration and convexity. So in that last topic, we used Excel's built-in functions. This concludes topic 9, bond valuation and interest rate risk.